As I mentioned before, Epiphany is a manifestation as of a light in the heavens showing a sign that calls attention to something. But the question before us today is, why the Magi? Why would God select these folks to be the representatives of the Gentiles? This day is all about God opening the doors, not just for the Jewish people, but for the entire world, because God so loved the world, all people. We are a holy nation, God's people that are called from every place, every race, descent, coming to be the people of God. Why these guys? And the reason why is the same irony that in Luke has not the wise men hearing of the birth of Christ, but the shepherds. These Jewish shepherds, they were dirty. They were filthy. They were a bit on the rough side because they didn't go to synagogue. They didn't come into the city a lot because they were out in the fields guarding their flocks by night. And yet these are the ones, these are the Jewish people that God said, I will have them witness this birth of my son. It's the same thing with these Magi for the Gentile world. They were pagans. They were soothsayers. They were astrologers. They would try to identify and recognize and explain dreams and what meanings behind these, all these sorts of things that would set both an early Christian and a Jew on edge, uncomfortable. This is not the sort of person that you invite over to your house to have dinner with your children. And yet God chose them to go on this journey by this light, this sun, this star. Perhaps some people have said it's actually a sort of an angel that was leading them along on this arduous journey for at least 2 years when they first saw this star. Why did he choose them? Because he loved them. He did it for their sake. They needed to have this epiphany about God. They needed to see something beyond. God wanted to rescue them and bring them closer to Him in a relationship with the true God. Today's psalm also says that God will have pity for the lowly and the poor. They were spiritually impoverished, and God says, those are the only people I can help. I can only help the poor. Let's be poor, right? They were lost among the stars. That was where their mind was. That was their focus in their life. John Chrysostom, a 4th century saint, he was the patriarch of Constantinople. He's a brilliant sermon writer or speaker, homilist. His name, Chrysostom, in the Greek actually means golden mouth, by the way he spoke. And maybe you can catch a little bit of this ability to speak and share in his words and what he has to say about these Magi. You might ask, why did God choose to attract the wise men with a vision like a star? Honestly, what else should he have done? If he had sent prophets, the Magi wouldn't have listened to them. If he had spoken with a voice from heaven, they wouldn't have paid attention. If he had sent an angel, they likely would have ignored him. God set aside those usual methods and called them using something familiar to them. In an act of incredible humility, meeting the Magi exactly where they were, he showed them an extraordinary star. He wanted its sheer size, beauty, and unique movement to stop them in their tracks. Since we all feel a natural connection to what is familiar to us, God uses this principle to save them. Do not think it is beneath God to use a star to call these men. He didn't think it was beneath him to use a star to get their attention because it allowed him to lift them higher afterward. Once he led them by the hand to the Holy Family, he stopped using the star, and in this way, step by step, they became better men. What things common to you is God using to manifest himself? How is he making you a better Christian? Is it bread and wine, oil, water, gold, frankincense, myrrh? A loving family that in some ways resembles the Holy Family? A Christian friend who is a great example to you of the presence of Jesus Christ in his life? A film or book that moves you to tears and causes you to desire to become a better man or woman or child? God comes and speaks to us in a language we can best understand.